Good morning, students. Welcome to the final year. In our final year, we are having two statistics papers. One is S5 and another is S6. So S6, the title of S6 paper is SQC and Reliability. So same like your S5 paper, in your S6 paper also, we are going to have three units. The first 2.5 units is about SQC only, and the last half unit is about reliability. So SQC means statistical quality control. Statistical quality control. So the most important term in this statistical quality control is the quality. So what is quality according to you? So suppose if you are buying any product, for example, let's take a mobile phone, okay? So when you buy a mobile phone, what all are the features or the characteristics you are going to check? You may be checking the camera, you may be checking the storage, you may be seeing the brand, you may be checking the price. So there are different qualities, right? These are the different qualities you check when you buy a mobile. There are many other also. For just an example, I am taking only 4 qualities. So quality means what? If you have all these qualities good, then only you will buy a product. That means if all these are satisfied and are working good, then only you will buy a mobile. So quality means it is a characteristic which determines the fitness of the product. Fitness of the product means, here I am considering the mobile phone. Mobile phone fitness means all these characteristics must be good. So the quality means it is the characteristics which describes the or defines the fitness of the product. It may be any product, okay? Quality, the general definition I have given. Next is quality control. So suppose these are all the different characteristics. So if you are seeing camera, you will be checking the how much megapixels it's having, whatever it is. And the storage, you are going to check the what is the storage capability in GBs. The brand, whatever the brand you are liking, you may check that one. Price, you will always have some price, right? You cannot go for a high range or you cannot buy a low food. All these characteristics must be satisfied. That means if your camera is working good or not, you are checking that, right? Your storage, the capability of the phone is good or not. You are checking. The checking of the quality, that means the assurance given to the quality is done by the quality control. Quality control means it is the assurance given to the quality to check the different characteristics of a product. So here to check the these characteristics of a product, that means mobile, the quality control is necessary. That means you are controlling your quality. You are checking, monitoring and making some corrections. If you have any corrections, you will be rectifying that. So that is called quality control. Next, statistical quality control. Statistical quality control means it is one of the technique used to control the quality by using the statistical methods. So by using the statistic methods, if you are controlling the quality, that is called the statistical quality control. Now let's go brief into this quality. So this quality, the quality of mobile phone depends on the quality of different things, right? The overall mobile is again dependent on the quality of different characteristics. Like that, our quality is mainly dependent on 4 things. That is, first one is material, second one is manpower, third one is machinery, and the last one is management. So these all are only M's. So these are called 4 M's of quality. So the overall quality of any product, any production process is dependent on these 4 M's. The first one is raw material. Material means here whatever the raw material you are using in your production process to produce our final goods. So for production of mobiles, you will be taking different, right? Storage, what kind of RAM you are using, all those raw materials. If you take any clothing, so for textile industry, they will check the what kind of cloth you are using. So it may be any industry, first the raw material should be very good. If the raw material is good, then only the production process will go smooth. So if the process is smooth, obviously the output will be good. So next is manpower. The skilled labor are required for the production process. If I am saying this, if I say someone to manufacture a mobile, it is not easy, right? Someone should know about it. Someone should have a knowledge about it. So whoever is having the knowledge about that particular production process, they only should be doing this production processing. So the manpower is also important. The third one is machinery. So whatever the machinery you are using, it should be of less fault. It should be not too old. It should be in the working condition so that the output will be given with less defects. Always we will try to reduce our defects. So machinery is very important. And the last one is management. To do all these 3 works, the management, that is the planning and execution of the production process, should be done carefully. So this management is also important. If all these 4 M's work properly, that means if all these 4 M's have the good quality, then obviously the final product will be of good quality. So this is about the quality. The most important term in the SQC is quality. In the quality means it is the characteristics which is prescribed to fitness of any product. There are 4 M's of quality, that is quality is dependent on this 4 M's. Then after quality, next is quality control. We have discussed about quality control. So this quality control is done in 3 stages. The first stage is input. The second stage is conversion. And the third stage is output. So input what we are going to check? We are going to check the quality of raw materials. Whatever the raw material we are using in the production process, we are going to check that raw material in the input stage. Next is conversion. That means the production process. So when the process is going on, we will check whether the process is controlled or not. That means it is having any defectors in the production process or not. We are going to check in this production process so that we will be obtaining the semi-finished goods. We will be getting the semi-finished goods. And the last stage is output stage. Here we are going to get the final products. So when final product is ready, you are going to check whether that product is acceptable to the consumers or not. So this is done in the final stage. That is about the quality control. Next, SQC. What is SQC? It is one of the scientific techniques used to control the quality. The technique which is used to control the quality with the help of statistical methods is called statistical quality control. So this statistical quality control, it is dependent on the theory of probability, that is the probability and sampling, this statistical quality control is done. So these two concepts are very important to control the quality using the statistical methods. So this is about SQC. Next we will be learning about chance causes and assignable causes. So chance causes, assignable causes. Why we need to check the quality? Because there might be some errors in the production or in the final goods. To check that production or to check that errors, the quality control is necessary. Why we will get that errors? Because of these two causes. The two causes are chance causes and the assignable causes. So chance cause. Chance cause means, as the name indicates, it's by chance. There is no human control in this. There is no human control. There is no human control in the chance causes. They can be detected but cannot be eliminated. Though we detect the chance causes, that cannot be eliminated from the production process. That are called the chance causes. Example, suppose temperature. Suppose if you are taking any agricultural field and checking the production or yield in the agricultural field, and obviously our agriculture is dependent on the temperature. If the temperature goes high or low, or the rainfall goes high or low, it will be affecting the production process. So it is not in our control, right? Temperature is not in our control, but it is causing an difference in our production. So that kind of causes, we can detect them but we cannot eliminate them. So those kind of variations are called chance causes or chance variations. Next is assignable causes. So these causes are under the human control. All these causes are under the human control. You can detect them, you can eliminate them. You can detect and eliminate them. So at the time of production process, if a statistician observes any assignable causes, he will give an early warning to the producer so that he can eliminate that errors and give a good production in the future. So that is about assignable cause and chance cause. Let me clear you this with a small example. So here I am considering the example of manufacturing a pen. Suppose you are manufacturing a pen and you are assuming that your size of the pen should be only 5 inches. If you are assuming that size of the pen should be only 5 inches, let us represent it on a graph. So here size. So I want only 5-inch pen, right? So I may be accepting the pen even it is 4.995. Even if the size of the pen is 4.995 also I will accept, or even if the pen is 5.005 also I may accept, because 0.005 is a very minute difference. So if all your values, if your pen size is between these values, if your pen is between these values, these two limits, I may accept it. But there are variations, right? I thought only 5, but it may be between 4.995 and 5. There is a slight variation, right? That variation within my specifications are called chance causes. These may occur due to the faulty machinery or something kind of that. So these are called chance causes, and if any pen is manufactured below this or above this part, whatever the variations you get, that are called assignable causes. So this is about chance cause and assignable cause. Next we will learn about process and product control. So next topic is process and product control. So process and product control both are different. First, process control means, so for in any production process, the two main objectives are, the first one is to control and maintain good quality. To control and maintain the good quality. This is the first objective of any process. So to control and maintain the good quality, at the production time itself, we are going to check our process is going well or not. So if you are checking your manufacturing or the production process at the time of manufacturing only, that is called a process control. That means you are manufacturing a pen, right? At the industry level only, you are going to check whether that process is going good or not. That is called process control. So this process control can be achieved by using the concept of control charts. This quality control, this product process control can be done by using the concept of control charts. Control charts we will learn in the next topic. Next is, the second objective is to improve quality of finished goods. So the second objective of any production process is to improve the quality of the finished goods. So already the goods are manufactured. The manufactured goods need to be verified and checked whether they are good to the customers or not. That is done by using the product control. So when the product is ready and you are checking that finished goods, that is called as the product control. The first objective is done and it is called as process control. For the second objective, it is called the product control. So this product control can be done by using the acceptance sampling plans. Acceptance sampling plan, you will come to know it in the coming units. It's our one of the chapters in our syllabus, and control charts is also one of the chapters in our syllabus. So this is all about process control and product control. Process control means at the time of manufacturing, you will be checking the process is controlled or not. Product control, you are going to check the quality of the finished goods. Now we will go deep into the control charts. So control charts, these control charts are used in the process control. That is to maintain a good quality, So if you maintain a good quality, a good standard will also be there. And to maintain the standard of quality. So these two objectives can be done by using the control charts. So control charts means in the name only you have, it is a chart. The chart means it is a graphical representation and it is a very simple and easy to interpret. So by just say, it is very simple to construct and easy to interpret also. Interpret means by using the chart, we can easily conclude whether our process is under control or not. So control chart, you will be drawing it on an XY plane. So here you will be having the sample number. Here you will plot the statistic values. So control chart mainly consists of 3 lines, that are upper control limit, second one is central limit, and the third one is lower control limit. So this upper control limit, it is denoted with a dotted line, and we can simply write it as UCL. Upper control limit can be abbreviated as UCL. Next, the CL, it is a dark line and it can be abbreviated as CL. Central line can be written as CL and it is a dark line. And the last one is lower control limit. Same like upper control limit. Lower control limit should also be drawn as a dotted line and it is abbreviated as LCL. So you will be having 3 lines: upper control limit, lower control limit and central line, or you can call it as central limit also. So these upper control limit and lower control limits are called the warning limits. These two are called warning limits. So while plotting your statistic values, you will be plotting these values, right? You might be getting some graph like this. If you join this, you will get a graphical representation. So this is the general format of control charts. Now if you observe, all the points whatever I have plotted, that are below UCL and above UCL. No point is going above this UCL line and no point is going below this LCL line. So when no point is going above UCL or below LCL, then the process is said to be under control. Suppose if any value is above, this is our UCL line, right? Now I got one value above the UCL, or I may get any one value below the LCL. So if you get at least any one value or more than one value above the UCL or below the LCL, then the process is said to be not under control. Not under control, or you can call out of control also. So whatever the values which are coming below LCL or above UCL, these values are called outliers. These are called outliers. The values which go above UCL and below LCL are called outliers. So what are this? How to find this UCL, CL and LCL values? So by using the concept of 3 sigma limits, we will find the UCL, CL and LCL values. So suppose you have any statistic T. What is a statistic? Statistic means unknown constant in the sample. So if you are considering any statistic T, then the 3 sigma control limits, are given as expectation of T plus or minus 3 into standard error of T. So these are the 3 formula for 3 sigma limits, 3 sigma control limits. That is expectation of T plus or minus 3 into standard error of T. What is standard error of T? Standard error of T equals to root over variance of T. So how you will find this UCL, LCL and CL values? So that are the 3 sigma control limits, right? So from that, the UCL value will be UCL equals to expectation of T plus, if you consider the plus, you will get the upper control limit, 3 into standard error of T. CL equals to If you consider only expectation of T, that will be your central line. Next is LCL. Instead of plus, if you consider minus, you will get the lower control limit. That is expectation of T minus 3 into standard error of T. So these are the 3 control limits. By using this control limits, you will draw the control chart, plot these values. This UCL and LCL should be the dotted lines and CL should be a dark line. So whatever the statistic. Suppose if you are considering the sample mean. Sample mean is denoted with X bar. So the UCL will become expectation of X bar plus or minus plus 3 into standard error of X bar. Your CL will be expectation of X bar and your LCL will be expectation of X bar minus 3 into standard error of X bar. Here what is the statistic I am considering? X bar. So while plotting the values, I will plot the X bar values, that is the sample mean values. So this is about control limits. So these control charts are of 2 types. We will learn now the types of control charts. Now we will be learning the types of control chart. So there are basically 2 types of control charts. One is control charts for variables. The second one is control charts for attributes. So there are 2 kinds of control charts. First is control charts for variables and the control charts for attributes. So control charts for variables. Variables means which are measurable. So here we are checking the characteristics of a quality, characteristics of a product which gives the quality. So any characteristics which is measurable, if the characteristic is measurable, then we will use the control charts for variables. For example, I took an example of pen, right? So in that pen I have considered 5 inches. So here I am measuring it. So if you are measuring it, that is considered as a variable. It may be any measurement, that is centimeters or kilometers or kilograms. So this is control charts for variables. Wherever the characteristics is measurable, we use the first kind. So in this control charts for variables, you have 3 main charts. The first one is mean chart. This mean chart is also known as X bar chart because we use the sample mean for this, so it can be denoted as X bar chart also. The second one is range chart. So range chart can also be known as R chart. So here the range means, what is the range? It is the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value. And the last third one is standard deviation chart. So the sample standard deviation is denoted with S. So we can also call it as S chart or sigma chart. It can be called as sigma chart. So these are the 3 main charts which comes under the control charts for variables. Now we will see control charts for attributes. Attribute. Attribute means it is a quality or a characteristics which cannot be measurable. Suppose in the production process, while checking the process, you may just check whether the difference or the defective is present or not. It's just a binary output, yes or no. we just say whether the product is good or not, it is defective or not. If you are taking the binary attribute, then it is considered to be the attribute, and the chart used for those kind of attributes is control charts for attributes. So the different kinds of charts which comes under the attribute are, first one is P chart. P chart is also known as fraction defective chart. P chart is also known as fraction defective chart, where we use P equals to D by N, where D is the defective and N is the sample size. So this is the P chart. The second one is D chart, or it is also called as NP chart. If you observe here, P equals to D by N, so NP equals to D. That's why it is called as P chart or D chart and NP chart also, where we will check only the number of defectives. In the P chart we will check fraction of defectives, but in D chart we will check the number of defectives. The third one is C chart. So C chart is used for number of defects. So what is the difference between defective and defects? If the whole product is not good, it is considered to be a defective. Suppose in that product you have any errors, that are called defects. So for that defects we will use the C chart, and the last fourth one is U chart. U chart, it is an extension of C chart. So wherever in C chart you have the different sample sizes, that is varying sample size. If you have varying sample size, then we will use this U chart. So these are the four kinds of charts which comes under control charts for attributes. So today we have learned about what is the definition of SQC, how the quality is dependent. It is dependent on 4 M's. Then what is quality control, in how many stages we will control the quality, and next we have learned SQC, that is what is SQC, how it will be used in quality control. We have studied assignable causes and chance causes. Next we have studied process control, product control, and the last one we have studied about the control charts. In our next class we will study about each and every chart separately.